Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to this channel. This is me Ali Vaid and you are on the channel of Medicare. So as you know that we have started the lectures of third year pharmacy, and today's we are going to discuss the subject which is pharmacy practice 2, and we have started the chapter number 1, and within the chapter number 1 we have covered few topics, like the first topic which is about the fundamental operations in compounding. We have covered it, and just revising it to you because it's my rule to revise the previous thing and then move to the forward, so that you should keep in mind what we have studied and what we will going to be studied. So the fundamental operations that use in compounding, because you know what is a compounding, what is dispensing, we have cleared their concept. Now what kind of things we need in compounding or dispensing our product. So the first major thing that we need is our equipment. We need apparatus, and within the apparatus few major apparatus we have discussed. Like if you remember the previous lecture, we have discussed the pestle and mortar. It is very important to reduce the size of the particles, and not only it reduce the size of a powder, but also it reduce the size of the solute which is present within a liquid. So it also used for the grinding of liquids and to make the emulsions. And its types can be, it can be made of glass and it can be made of porcelain. If it is made up of glass, it will use for the small and the soft drug, while if it is made up of porcelain, then it used for the large amount and for the hard drug, to grind it and to use it as we can. So the glass pestle and mortar is not good for the size reduction. It has very smooth surface, while porcelain pestle and mortar is very good because it can reduce the size and make the emulsions. Our pestle and mortar can be flat headed or the round headed. Now how to operate it and how to perform on it. So whatever the powder you have, you just have to put it in it, rub it into the circular motions and gradually increase within the center, and then you will reduce its size. The next equipment is the tiles. So ironment tiles and slabs are very important because they are used in making of ointments. So they are used for the titration and the lavigation. So titration mean the grinding, and lavigation is a process of wet grinding in which we add the a little bit of solvent and then we grind it to make a paste, a smooth paste at the end. So ointment times is very important for it because ointment, if we talk about it, so it's a semi-solid paste like nature, so that's very important. These tiles are used to make the ointment. So they can be made up of glass and the glazed porcelain, same as the pestle and mortar, and their size is 300 millimeter squares. Then stirring rods, they are also used just for stirring. So they are used to agitate the liquids so that they can dissolve into each other. So within a beaker, when you add two liquids or when you add any kind of liquid into the solvent, you just need a spatula, you just need a stirring rods to mix them. So it is made up of glass mostly. Next equipment is the pipette. For measuring the small volumes from 5 ml to 0.1 ml, you need a device to measure that volume of liquid. We need pipettes for it. And for measuring more or less volume of liquid, like below the 0.1, then you need some syringes for the higher degree of accuracy. Some micropipettes, digital pipettes, some drainage or blowout. Yeah, so pipette is of two types: drainage pipette and blowout pipette. So the drainage pipette is the one which have to be blowout, the last drop out of it, because it has no end, rings at its end. But the blowout pipette, it's very easy to blow it out the last drop, because at the end of this pipette we have some rings. So these rings really help us to make the last drop out of the pipette. Okay, so now the next is the suppository molds. So they are used to fill the base of the suppository. Their size can be variable according to your need. So first of all, how to use it? So first of all, you will lubricate it, because lubrication is very important. When you don't lubricate it, it will the our drug or our base will stick with it, and it doesn't remove out quickly as it can. But so therefore lubrication is very important. Then you have to make up the metal with a two-thirds section held by the screw. Then you remove it and disperse it. Next, water bath. It's very important so to supply a uniform heat. So water bath is very necessary to prepare a lot of suppositories, creams, paste, um, pizzeries, and how to work it. So this is the item in which any item that should be melted is placed in it. Then you have to hot the water by using electric hot plates, and then when the water boils, then you put your any material within a vessel, you put over it, and then it will provide the heat to it, and then your reaction will occur. Weighing balance, the seventh equipment, it is used to measure various weights. So weighing balance are of three classes: class A, class B, class C. So class A is used for the measuring substances from the weight of 50 mg to 1 mg. Class B measures the weight from 100 mg to 50 mg, and the class C can measure the weight from 1 gram to 2 gram. So that's the three types of weighing balance. So I think I should write it here. So we have three classes of weighing balance: class A, class B, and class C. It measures from 50 mg to 1 mg, but it measures from 100 mg to 50 mg. Okay, so I think we should keep the B upward. So B is better than the A, because A measures from 1 to 50. So I think we should write it as it, like, from 1 mg the smallest weight to largest weight, from smallest weight to largest weight. And the C can measure from 2 grams to 1 gram. So this is the thing that you should have to keep in your mind. So this is the minimum weight that it can measure, and this is the maximum weight that it can go up to be measured. So that you should have to measure, that every weighing balance cannot measure every weight. There's specific weighing balance, and within your laboratory the weighing balance are highly efficient and highly wide range. They can measure every weight, but not too much big weights. But yeah, for the lab purpose the weighing balance are efficient to measure all the measurements that are going to be performed. Okay, so some measuring cylinders are there in which we measure the liquids. They can be of cylindrical shape and the conical shape. Some tear containers are there. When the liquid adds to the different containers, they stick to that container or not properly remove. So for that purpose, what we do, we take some tear containers. What they do, we take a bottle, take a tear container, and we fill the 100 gram of water in it. And then after that, we mark it from where the 100 gram water came. And then we add the prepared product into it, and then we, no kind of error occurs. Some filters are used in the case of suspension solution, and with their paper sizes, they have 40 pores on it, and when a filtration process increase when we apply the vacuum. Bunsen burner, they are also a very good source of providing the heat, because in the preparation of ointment, when we melt the base, we when we prepare the ointment by the fission method, we need the Bunsen burner there. And so yeah, so that was the whole thing that was about this chapter, this topic, which is the fundamental operations in compounding. So the next topic is containers, closures, and dispense products. So we discuss all the containers in which we can dispense our product, and we discuss their closures. So closures means the caps, the metallic caps, or any kind of closing agent through which we can close our containers. So now we discuss all the containers, all the types of container. You will know what kind of specific drug should be placed in a particular container. So after that you have to place in it. So every you cannot add every drug to every container that you want. You have to see what the drug want. If it is light sensitive, you have to add it into a ambered color container. And similarly, if it is air resistance or something, it can be evaporated, so you need a specific kind of closures for it, so that it should not be evaporate from the container. So there, that's why it is necessary to study what is container and how much types of them, and how we can use them. So let's start our lecture. Okay guys, so what you think, what is a container, how we can define it? So container is something that protect our product. Yes, so the first thing that we came in the mind, that it is going to protect our product. Okay. So anything others that came in your mind about the container? Yes. It also have the information of that product. Okay, our containers have the labels over them, and it contain every information of that drug. So it identify and provide us the information about that particular product which is inside it. Okay, so I'm not writing the everything, I'm just giving you the hint. So it is protecting us, it is going to be inform us or identify us what kind of product is inside it, and it keep this product safe, stable, and during the storage. And so it is not only going to protect it, it also going to keep it safe or stable for a long time. So that's we need, because we don't want our product to be disintegrate or expire before the use. So that's why container is going to play an important role to make our product safe. So here these 3 points define a container, and this definition of 3 points is given by a scientist called as Michael Alton. M. Alton, you can call it. So M. Alton defined the container by these 3 points. So I have given the definition of container by these points. Now you will make join these sentences together to make a definition of container, and this definition is given by M. Alton. Very good. And also the container is defined by pharmaceutical codex. Second definition is given by pharmaceutical codex. Okay, guys, according to the pharmaceutical codex, the definition of containers is that it's very easy and it's very good for maintaining the safety, stability, and the quality of our product. Sorry for my voice, I have stuck something into my throat, and sorry for this voice, but you have to listen it. So the pharmaceutical codex, it is going to maintain our safety, stability, and the quality of our product. So this was the two definitions of containers given by M. Alton and the Pharmaceutical Codex. And I have given you these two definitions of container. So anyone could ask you what is a container, you should know about it. Next thing is the closures, something that is going to close our container. So these are some devices used to close or seal a bottle. So they are going to close or seal our container. Two purposes it has. It can be a, okay, so examples of the closures are here. It could be a cap, a cover, different names of the closures. Can be a lid, can be a plug, anything. Okay, so what is the function of the closure? What is going to do? So its function is given here. It is going to tightly pack our container. So it is going to seal it, or you can say pack our container. Okay. The next function, so that any kind of oxygen, carbon dioxide, water and microbe should not be enter or exclude out. Next thing is it prevents the loss. It doesn't allow the things that are present inside your container to move outside. So prevent the loss of anything, loss of any volatile drug out of your container. It maintain our container shelf life, providing the barrier and help us to reuse it. So we can reuse the closures. Okay, so this was the thing about the container or the closure. We have discussed it now. So sorry for it. So now we are going to start some characteristics of our containers and the closures. So its characteristic is just similar as written over here. Is that it must be rigid. It should be prevent the damage from any kind of shock, vibration, compression, fracture, or crushing. Must not be wrecked with the product. This should be an important characteristic of our container, that it should not react with our product. It should prevent the moisture exposure and the moisture loss, and it should protect our product from light, gases, and airborne particles, and it should be able to withstand temperature and humidities. Next, we will discuss some types of containers, and then one by one we will discuss all the types of the containers. So the first type of the container is our single dose container. So I'm gonna do to raise it and then write. So what do you think about the name of single dose container? So as their name indicates, those containers that are intended for the single use. So they are for single use, one time use. Okay, so can you remember some containers that are for single use? Yeah, please. Can I give you example of injectable drugs? So their container is for single use because we cannot use it again and again due to the chances of contamination. So its example could be IV drugs. Other thing that you can add in it, yes, ampules. Ampules, they are for the single use, containing the drugs that contain the dose for one time. Okay, so they have the dose that can be used at single time, should not be taken again and again. So they can be made up of glass or can be made up of plastic as well, depending upon the type of the drug it has. Okay, some blister packets or some eye drops are for single use. Some eye drops, ear drops, nasal drops, you can say, or some blister packets are for single use. Okay, if we have a single dose container, then we can have a multi dose container having the multiple use. So, multiple dose container. So, the container that can be used for the multiple times. Am I right? So, this is the container that can be used for intended of multiple uses or multiple drugs. Could you give an example of it? Yes, an example came in your mind. Yes, some jar or some bottle or containing a lot of tablets in it, or can have a lot of capsules, like the bottle of vitamins. So it is for multiple use. Like the jar of any cream, or you can say any ointment. It can be used for multi time, and any ear or eye drops. So there are some jars that contain the eye drops for multiple uses, and some vials. So what are vials? Do you know about it? Yes, so actually these are some kind of containers that are made up of glass or could be made up of plastic with the rubber stopper over them. That's the important point, that it closed by the rubber, not anything else. So it contains the drugs like insulin, like a lot of vaccines or some injectables it can have within it. So these are some examples of multiple dose containers. So the next type of the container I'm going to show you here is our well closed containers. Means they are very tightly closed, containing the drug that have the chances of anything loss. So it protect our product from any contamination or prevent the loss of the product from spillage or from leakage. So any example? Yes, please tell us. Like a lot of ointment creams jar of cream or ointment. So they are well closed because cream or ointment can have volatile agent in them. Some oral liquids like syrups, cough syrup, lot of suspensions, or liquid vitamins, they can be in the examples of it. Next type is the airtight containers. So these are the containers that are designed to prevent the loss of air, moisture, and contamination. Like you have seen some metallic cans having some drinks in them. So metallic cans and tins, some vacuum sealed bags are there. They are also air tightly closed, sealed bags, some glass jars, and some are hermetically sealed ampoules. So hermetically sealed ampoules mean they are airtight. So the air cannot be, move outside or inside through it. Okay, so after that, the next type is the sealed container. So mostly you see that every container is similar to each other, none mostly difference between them. But yeah, so these are almost all the containers are similar to each other. Little bit of difference between them. So sealed containers, they are actually closed by the fusion. So closure is different, that the mechanism through which they close is through the fusion process, the melting process. So a lot of glass and fuels are sealed through that way. Next type is the tamper evident containers. So what are them? So it is a special type of packing, to show the clear visible signs. if it has opened or tampered with. सो ये इस तरह के कंटेनर्स होते हैं जिनके जो अगर एक दफ़ा खुल जाए ना तो उनके ऊपर इस तरह के साइंस आ जाते हैं कि हमें पता लग जाता है कि किसी ने इन्हें पहले खोला है, ठीक है। सो अगर इफ़ द कंटेनर हैज़ बीन ओपनड और अल्टर इट क्लियरली शो अ साइन लाइक इसका सील ब्रोकन होगा या इसका कलर चेंज हो जाएगा। इसके क्लोयर में इस तरह की केमिकल्स लगाए होते हैं कि अगर किसी ने इसे एक दफ़ा खोला है तो वो अपना कलर चेंज कर देता है और हमें पता लग जाता है कि ये खुल चुके हैं। ये वन टाइम सील है, वन टाइम सील्ड कंटेनर्स होते हैं। इन्हें दोबारा रीक्लोज नहीं किया जाता, इन्हें दोबारा रीक्लोज नहीं कर सकते। ये मल्टीपल यूज़ के लिए नहीं है, ये सिंगल यूज़ के लिए। ओके, सम आर लाइट रेजिस्टेंस कंटेनर्स। सो हम इसे रेजिस्ट कर देते हैं। कौन से कंटेनर्स हैं? लाइट रेजिस्टेंस विच कैनॉट resist the light, cannot bear the light. So they protect our drug from the wavelength or from radiation from 290 nanometer to 450 nanometer. Some child resistance containers, so they are specifically designed that a child should not open it, so but a mature person can open it. Actually the adult can open it by pressing it a little down, but the child, he or she can rotate it, but he or she cannot being able to open it. Okay, some strip packets are there, strip packs. So they are the packaging where tablets or the capsules have individually sealed between the layers of the material. Okay, so like layer of aluminum foil or the plastic. So they are for single use, and the pack is made up of two layers, film and the laminated material. So actually they are in which the packets in which tablets or capsules are divided individually by the layering of aluminium foil or any plastic. Some blister packs are also there, strip and the blister packs. So what are the blister packs? So they are the packaging that hold the individual dose like the tablet or capsule in a small clear plastic pockets sealed with. So here the pocket is there, none the differences, just it has the pocket here, while the strip packets have no pocket there and it is more rigid, more rigid than the strip packets. Okay, so the next pack is there is the topicalized pack, topicalized pack. So there are also the blister packets with the additional aluminum membrane provided the greater protection against the highest humidity. So another, अगर आप एल्यूमिनियम की फॉयल कर देते हैं ब्लिस्टर पैक के ऊपर एक और लेयर कर देते हैं तो वो टॉपिकल पैक बन जाता है। इसी तरह नेक्स्ट टाइप हमारे पास आ जाती है प्रेशराइज पैक। सो इट एक्सपेल्स द प्रोडक्ट थ्रू अ वेव थ्रू द एक्सपल्यून ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट, और फिर एक्सपल्यून से बाहर जो है प्रोडक्ट आती है like the perfume sprays. Similarly, some original packs are there which are commercially produced and intended for the finite treatment period. So the packs are dispensed directly to the patient in original form. So अगर original form में आप किसी भी patient को एक पैक दे रहे हैं तो वो आप original pack दे रहे हैं, ठीक है। So this was our lecture in which we have discussed that what is a container is, what are the closure is. So shortly revise the previous lecture. So we have studied that what is a container. So it is something that is going to protect our drug, make it stable and safe for the long time, and so this is defined by our M. Alton. Next thing, we have discussed the definition of containers by Pharmaceutical Codex, and it was like that the main function of our container is to protect to maintain the safety, stability, and the quality of our product. Next, we have discussed the closures, something that close or seal our bottle or product. It can be a cap, screw, it can be a cover, lid, plug, and its function is to tightly pack our container, prevent the loss, and provide the barrier and protect our drug and maintain its shelf life. Then we have seen its characteristics and its type, and every type have some examples. We have discussed it in that lecture. I hope that this concept is clear within your minds. So here is the syllabus. So we have covered the first two topics here. The next topic is about the prescription handling and the labeling, so which will be discussed in the next lecture. So take care of yourself and remember me in your prayers. Take care. Allah Hafiz.